Dragón, otro centro de zurda contra el cabezazo, gol! Goal!
So then I was like, well, why don't you stick it in this time instead? Oh, no, wait, hang on. Alright, okay, don't worry, lads, we're all... Wait, why did the whistle... You can't even check... You can't see anything! Why are you ruling it out? Yo guys, it is your boy, transatlantically terrifying Trim. Nah, we're not doing that again. And you are watching FTW. This, of course, is the series where I bring to you the best and more frequently the worst of what football has to offer during the last 7 days. But what's been kicking off in the world this week? Well, it's been Easter weekend and the UK's residents have been making the most of the warm weather. There's been more chocolate than Kim K's back catalogue.
Get your fucking ass up and work.
Now, for real though, big deal is this holiday, and in the football too. News just in, reports are suggesting that one Jesus has returned this weekend in a shock development. We asked fans what they thought about his comeback. I mean, the last 2 Jesuses we had weren't great, so... for me, he goes missing in big games. I mean, 3 whole days he was gone, like, come on. Apparently he died for our sins, but we're still playing Cedric at right back, so... Onto the football though now, and it's been a quiet week.
This is massive!
We'll start with the Premier League action, where Manchester United were bullied by Liverpool again, losing 4-0 to their enemies at Anfield. It was domination in this fixture again. United had the ball confiscated from them, and it makes it 9-0 on aggregate across both league games. We've got an actual representation of the match right here. 0 XG, 0 shots, 28% possession in the first half. Alisson was living his best life. United fans took yellow and green protest scarves to games and actually started playing like Norwich. Seemingly from the most recent interview as well, Ralph Rangnick has had enough of these lot. I swear to God, when I get my hands on Diogo Dalot... Ralph, I asked you about Liverpool's performance. And it's no surprise really, Paul Pogba came off pretty much instantly. The man saw the first goal go in and said, nah, I'm good.
He might be walking away from the stadium. Is he walking away from the job?
But where is Paul Pogba in all of this? He's literally, you saw him walk off. Graham, come on. At least his agent, Mino Raiola, is there to save the day for him.
You guys are in a crisis. I'm on my way.
Bruno Fernandes came into this one after being involved in a car crash on the weekend. I mean, he's been in one since November, to be fair, but if we look closer, we'll see the other driver that was involved. I mean, Bruno himself seemed distraught until he realised he gets penalty points on his licence. This is the worst I have ever seen from any Manchester United team. Harry Maguire spoke out in an interview this week, yet his performance still makes Roy Keane want to do this to him. Fans don't want to be involved at all, and relying on Nemanja Matic against Liverpool in the middle when he runs as if he's holding a table. It's a completely broken set of players. We need to get to the bottom of why. Now, you join me behind the scenes at the Theatre of Dreams as we try to work out why this has become the cinema of nightmares. Now, just like Nigel Farage, they won't be involved in Europe anytime soon. And we find ourselves in the dressing room. Let's have a little peek in to see... Now I'm joined by Ralph and man. Do you see what I did? Yeah, no, yeah. So Ralph, tell me, what's gone wrong here? I mean, outfield-wise, we're poor. You know, I don't trust many players to perform at all. But David De Gea, my son, he would. Mason, we shouldn't talk about him anymore. No, I said he would, not Green. Marcus Rashford falls apart doing any more than 3 minutes of pressing. And Hannibal's getting praised just for getting a yellow card. All he did was fulfill an extremely obscure ACCA. Obviously, though, I'm happy as a Liverpool fan. We played some beautiful football at times, especially for the second goal, and the quadruple is still on. Will City drop points though? Now 7 minutes into this one and both sets of fans started clapping as a way to show solidarity with Manchester United's Cristiano Ronaldo, who was absent from this game following on from the news of the passing of one of his newborn twins. It was a wonderful gesture from everyone inside Anfield, but my heart goes out to the Ronaldo family. I can't imagine how difficult that is. Now, good news for United is that Arsenal and Tottenham are slipping up at the moment too. Everyone was annoyed at me for not mentioning Tottenham's win last time. Genuinely, it's nothing personal. There was just a lot to fit into that episode, so I'll mention them this time. They lost. Give it up and down. Well, look, that's only one loss to Brighton. They've actually been playing very well recently and got themselves back in the top 4 race. Arsenal managed that and a loss to Southampton in the same week. Arteta seemed as if he was proving to be the Como te llamas Chris Wilder, and Brighton have claimed North London as their own here. It's a housery award for Graham Potter's men. Alexander Lacazette claimed in an interview that he wants to play in Champions League football next season and may well leave Arsenal for it. Got live scenes of his agent listing off the European clubs interested in him.
Snake, scoop no, rat no.
Elsewhere, an Emil Smith Rowe has a new clock tattoo with 13 hours on it. 26 hours in the day and you still can't beat Southampton. I just don't. But centre-back Gabriel means business with an entirely new hairline. The guy's got a better lineup here than Arsenal's versus Chelsea. But that seemingly underwhelming starting 11 did the job against the Blues as Arsenal ran out 4-2 victors at Stamford Bridge. Both back lines in this one were an absolute shambles. I'm pretty sure Thomas Tuchel was searching defensive tutorials on YouTube at half-time. Arteta was frustrated on the sidelines with refereeing decisions, and this result makes no sense. Like, first of all, how are you allowing Nketiah to put you in a fajita wrap? Second of all, Southampton lost 6-0 to Chelsea, beat Arsenal, but then Arsenal have beaten Chelsea. Where's the mathematics? And as Arsenal was scoring their 4th in this one, Aaron Ramsdale had a message for the Chelsea fans. The FA Cup semi-finals saw plenty of drama as May 14th's finalists were decided. First off, we had Liverpool, who beat Manchester City 3-2. Pep decided to play a couple of B-team personnel here, but had wise words for them. Now, don't worry, lads, it's okay. I've got plenty of faith in you. Zach, I'm going to need you to channel your inner Edison.
I'm so happy, believe me. I'm so happy.
Yeah, an awful mistake from the City goalkeeper here, gifted us our second, but City were poor in the whole first half. John Stones was not happy with the Brazilian shot stopper's replacement.
How dare you stand where he stood?
But I do feel for him here. This was somewhat of a big chance for him. But he's still got confidence. He's not happy knowing Pep's going to drop him.
You don't know where I'm from, dawg.
Phil Foden was snapped shopping by journalists after the game. Not the only time he's been caught in Iceland, to be fair. City did come back in the second half, but Liverpool held on to book a place in the final. And will face Chelsea, who beat Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace side 2-0 at Wembley. Ruben Loftus-Cheek put down his ASOS commission to score in this one. Mason Mount's expected hair flicks might be down, but his goal involvements are definitely on the rise. Gareth Southgate's loving it in the crowd, knowing he doesn't have to get creative with the next England squad. But it was still another poor afternoon for Romelu Lukaku, who came on late as a substitute and still managed to miss from approximately inside the goal. The Eagles gave a good account of themselves though, especially missing Conor Gallagher. At least there's one Palace that's positive when it comes to its youngsters. It's set up a Chelsea versus Liverpool final again though, and we all know what that means.
Goodness gracious!
In better news for Manchester City though, and they've reportedly agreed a fee for Borussia Dortmund striker Erling Haaland. Yeah, no, we're done. Do you understand how finished we all are? City are winning 39 out of 38 games next season. I'm sure the management of the club can't wait for his big unveiling in front of the fans.
Are you with me?
But poor Harry Kane, man, he spent 2 years linked with them, and he's not even going to go there. He's going to retire with less Tottenham trophies than Emma Raducanu, and she's a tennis player. Liverpool can't compete with this sort of spending, so I'm going to have to switch it up. Listen, Newcastle, you could, yeah, I might just become a fan. Why I, man, and that. The Europa League also caused chaos last week as West Ham reached the Final Four with a win over Lyon. The French side were very confident about progressing beforehand, so Declan Rice had to remind them that that wasn't the case at full time. Am I going to seriously see Craig Dawson win a European competition? There's still plenty of humility in the side though, as Mark Noble cleaned up the dressing room after the game, and David Moyes had even started learning Spanish in the eventuality of playing Barca in the semis.
They have been training with me 2, 3, 4 times.
But it wasn't to be, as they were beaten by German side Eintracht Frankfurt. The Catalan side saw West Ham 2-0 up and said absolutely not. And Frankfurt fans were taking the piss here as well. They even blocked Barcelona fans trying to leave the stadium because there was too many of them at the ground, so they actually managed to outnumber them. How are Barca gonna play 2 away legs in one tie? On the topic of European powerhouses though, and Sean Dyche has been sacked in a surprising decision from Burnley. Not that he minds means too much because he was pictured just 2 days later outside Rock City, a nightclub in Nottingham. So obviously 4-3-3 is the new model, but slap Matthew Lowton in a 4-4-2. It's a weird decision for me, I can't lie. I don't think any other manager has a better chance of keeping them up, and he's done far too much for the club to get no sort of goodbye at all. He was replaced by under-21s manager Michael Jackson, which is a bit of a dodgy combination really, and centre-back Ben Mee, who's going to be looking like Ryan Mason here when he takes charge of his next game. On a different note though, and my best wishes to centre mid Ashley Westwood, who obviously picked up a pretty horrible injury against West Ham United, wishing him a speedy recovery. Now I mentioned Manchester United a lot earlier. They beat Norwich in fairness to them, thanks to a Cristiano Ronaldo hat-trick earlier in the week. And they were playing versus 12 men as well, given Harry Maguire was in on the act. Newcastle winger Alan Son-Maximin just mashed the left stick, not knowing what skill he was going to do in real life. Meanwhile, Fulham have been re-promoted to the Premier League after a 3-0 victory against Preston 2 days ago. It's fair to say Mitrovic was partying a little bit too hard, but Championship clubs, don't worry if you feel like you're going to miss them. They'll be back for you to play again next season. In France, one fan was lucky enough to share a lift with the entire PSG squad. I'm not sure Kylian Mbappe was ready for it though. Tell you what, I might make a Tagliatelle later. Oh, Jesus. PSG goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma picked up one of the weirdest yellow cards you're probably ever gonna see for time wasting in their most recent league fixture. The man thought he was playing Volta, for God's sake. Meanwhile, at Saint-Etienne, and manager Pascal Dupraz has come under fire for apparently asking his Muslim players to stop fasting. I mean, judging by the league table, you were managing them pretty disastrously before Ramadan as well, mate. A poor week continued for Barcelona, who lost to Cadiz at the Nou Camp for the first time in their history. Adama Traore really hasn't been the same since his first month, and he's taken out his aggression on Sergio Busquets.
Yo, what you doing, man? What you doing, man? What I doing? What I doing?
In Italy, and I don't know what's got into Juventus centre-back Giorgio Chiellini. See, this is why I'm leaving at the end of the season, bro. No wonder Bukayo Saka was trying to get away from him. And the referees over there do not take any shit at all. Bologna midfielder Gary Medel got the world's angriest yellow card this week. Now, though, we move on to our goals of the week. And first of all, we go down to the Championship at Nottingham Forest, where off the back of a controversial throw-in, Jack Colback picked up the ball down the left-hand side and smacked it towards goal.
What have we just witnessed?
The worst thing is, I think he's actually meant to do this, because what psychopath puts a cross in like that? And then over in Brazil, we have an absolute rocket of a free kick that Roberto Carlos would be proud of. In the Netherlands, and a 6-minute game was played out between Sparta Rotterdam and Vitesse Arnhem. This game was postponed 45 days ago after a pitch invader tried to attack goalkeeper Maduka Okoye. Well, after being postponed, they finally managed to find the time to actually complete the game, and it ended with Sparta Rotterdam holding on to the 1-0 win. In Germany, and one fan got a great view of Darmstadt's most recent fixture, and elsewhere, Hulk is having a baby with his ex-wife's niece. Brazil, I'm sorry, but you've got to go. This cannot run whatsoever. At best, this is a very questionable plot for a video. Hello all, and welcome to The Beautiful Game, the segment where we take a look at the poetic and brilliant side of the game that we love. We are back by popular demand for yet more glorious beauty.
Хозяев поля, Мелкадзе. Какой решил удар нанести. Там скоки неудачный для Локо, Жоузиньо. И на бол бьет.
And that concludes The Beautiful Game. Closer to home, and with Derby down and relegated from the Championship, boss Wayne Rooney had some encouraging words for the travelling fans. At Stoke versus Bristol City, and we've got what looks like the worst undercard in human history.
Triggered a melee, which...
The direct aggression does not stop in England here, as we have a Tranmere Bullboy who quite rightfully is well up for a scrap here. Coventry's Callum O'Hare has created a celebration that I simply have to see in FIFA moving forwards. And in League One, in Gillingham's game against Fleetwood, we saw the extremely rare occurrence of two players getting a red card for the same challenge. Both Charlie Kelman and Paddy Lane were given marching orders after diving into a 50-50 aggressively. Over in the Russian Cup, and Zenit St. Petersburg were eliminated from the competition by Alania after drawing in regulation time. The goal that got the victors level was an extremely creative free kick.
Да, вот он розыгрыш. Где Солдатенко? Прибежит вратарь. Вот смотрите.
In Brazil now, and we've got an incredible solo run that as time progresses you realise deserves to end in a Puskás award until...
De drible feito, golaço, perdeu! Eduardo Diniz!
Yeah, off you go, son. Fuck's sake, just give me the card. Over in Japan and for Urawa Red Diamonds, David Moberg Carlson managed to score and then score an own goal in the same minute. There's the revelation that over in the Brazilian youth leagues, there is an under-15 striker called Thierry Henry. There's dropping down a level when you get older, and then there's this.
Well done, he's 13.
There was some very dodgy VAR decisions going on over in Africa, where when Al Ahly of Egypt played against Raja of Morocco, a penalty was given when one of the Moroccan side's defenders was adjudged to have handled the ball. Now, the referee consulted VAR and gave the decision, but upon replay, it's very clear that the ball hits his leg instead. They lost the game because of it, and at full time, Raja posted this, showing the referees as the man of the match. It's a shithousery award, even though it won't make the defeat any easier. In Argentina, and one Boca Junior players might be waking up with a headache tomorrow. And at their bitter rivals River Plate, they've decided to engage in a game of piggy in the middle. Over at a college in South Africa, and we might well have got one of the most satisfying soos you're ever gonna hear. Meanwhile, this commentator over in South America thought that he was capturing one of the most dramatic points that was going to happen in the game.
Vote a través de Facebook, a través de Twitter de Canal 4.
Ahora viene! ¡Gol! Era la oportunidad que tenían, nada.
Only to realise that it was a replay. Now though, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, because over in Romania, we're back with some consistency in the greatest footballing nation in the world. And this time it's something that's actually currently happened. Hey, listen, furthermore, give me some more respect, fam. Now there are many emotions that happen down on the touchline, as well as out on the pitch. Managers, coaches, you know, they're really going through it. And there's many ways they'll try and deal with frustration, for example. Having a go at the fourth official, ranting to the rest of the backroom staff, or in Romania's case, just chuck a stretcher at the pitch. That'll probably do the job.
A apărut acolo și arbitrul de rezervă, Teodor Albon.
Over at Palmeiras, and we've got the interesting technique from a goalkeeper of deciding to go down injured once you've conceded a goal to try and get it ruled out. In the J-League now, and some member of the ground staff has got to be sacked for this. How are you going to let your pitch have eczema? 15-year-old Isaac Vural made his debut for Fenerbahce in the league this week, which A, is outrageous, but B, I'm here to tell you, sign him on Football Manager next season. Keep a note of that one. Elsewhere, and have you ever seen a penalty hit so well that it just bursts through the net? In Paraguay, we've got a throw-in technique that hasn't particularly gone to plan here. If you thought that was a bad set piece, then check this one out from a Brazilian goalkeeper. Meanwhile, African football is often about unnecessary skill, and so is futsal. So combine the two together, and you've got something truly remarkable. Now though, it's time for Still 0-0, and you guys know the score by now. This is the segment of the show where I bring to you the best of Sunday League and amateur football. And at a basic level, what does this segment usually provide? That is correct. A player thinking that he's skillful and getting absolutely cleaned out for being just that. On to the weird stuff though now. Over at Derry, and play had to be stopped for a moment at the start of the second half so that vomit could be removed from the pitch. I don't know how hard these lot have been gegenpressing, but someone needs to calm them down. Up in Scotland, and Dundee manager Mark McGee has decided that in preparation for their game against St Johnstone, he's going to go on a diet and turn off all his central heating until the game's done. Apparently this is so that he can help focus himself more when the game actually happens, and so that when he asks why he's hungry hungry in real life, it's because he's hungry to win the game. This is Mark, you don't have to do that, bro. You can still enjoy your life and win the game. In Indonesia, and a side called Persipura were relegated from the top flight on the final day recently. A few of their fans have come to the conclusion that one of their strikers, David da Silva, was in fact match fixing to get them relegated because his penalty was so bad in the game that it can't physically have been him trying to score. And finally, ending on a positive note, where over in Ukraine, a 12-year-old refugee came on off the bench for Shakhtar Donetsk to score in a charity match. Hopefully the money raised from the match helps himself and children like him in the area. That, though, is going to wrap up football this week, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video, and of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @officialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.